Hello and welcome back. Today is day 29 of the 30 Days of Transformations. I am Katie, and today we are talking about showing up in your life with intention. I really like this one. This is a big one for me. So, excuse me. So for most of my life, I was doing kind of what most people do. I was surviving. I was on autopilot. You know, we as a society, and I'm speaking of my own culture, of course, not all over the world, but it's a pretty good generalization. We are generally taught, you wake up in the morning, you go to school, you do what you have to do. You graduate school, maybe you go to college or you go to university so that you get a diploma or a degree. Then you graduate and then you get a good job, and then, maybe you get a house, and then maybe you get married, and then maybe you have babies, and then there is this more or less generally acceptable timeline that most of the population lives by. And if that makes you happy, then amazing. That is awesome for you. If that is a life that lights you up from the inside, then good for you. That's all any of us want. The fact is, that does not light me up. I did that for a long time, and it just didn't feel right. Mostly, if I'm looking on a day-to-day basis, I wasn't conscious every day. I wasn't aware of why I was doing what I was doing, who I really wanted to be. I was just doing what I should be doing, right? I was doing what everybody else was doing, what I was supposed to do to make myself happy, and it just didn't work. It didn't work. It just didn't work in the end. I've always wanted different things, and ignoring those wants just really didn't work for me. And really learning to love myself and accept myself has allowed me to really tap into this. More so because if I'm going to love myself, I need to know who I am and who I want to be and how I want to live my life. And so through learning to love myself, I have discovered that. And through discovering that, I have learned to love all of those things about myself. They've really fed into each other. So, and I mean, of course, today is New Year's Eve. So it's totally by chance that this training or that this video is happening today if you're watching it live. But it's really good timing because this is the time of year that we are all kind of bombarded with that, with, the New Year's resolutions and change this and get shredded and lose 20 pounds and all of this stuff. And it's basically like the old stuff wasn't good. The old you wasn't good. Change it is the message that we all receive. But instead, I would really encourage you to actually stop and tune in and figure out what do you actually want? How do you want to show up in your life every day? And have you ever actually thought about this? I'm really curious. If you're watching this, whether you're live or you're on the replay, pop a comment down below. Have you ever actually thought about who you are being every day and how you want to show up in your life? Because I didn't for a very long time. I was not aware of it. Like I said, it was part of my journey. It's a big part of my journey is discovering this. Now, I don't live a quote-unquote normal life anymore. I've moved around the world. I work from home. I'm in my 30s. I don't have kids. I'm not married. Nothing crazy, but for a lot of people, it is kind of crazy. But it all comes down to me listening to, my inner voice, my intuition, and what do I want right now? And could that all change in the future? Of course, we're all constantly changing. Where we are right now is not where we're going to be tomorrow, but it's all about how you're showing up and showing up with intention. So starting the new year, instead of resolutions, I have created intentions. And this is about who do I want to be? This is not about do I want to lose 20 pounds? This is not about any of that kind of surface stuff. This is I want to show up in my own life with as much compassion and kindness as I possibly can for myself and for others. I want to be truly honest. I'm a pretty honest person, but I think there's always room for improvement. A lot of times we sugarcoat stuff, right? And honesty is something I really value And so honesty, I really want to show up as an honest person. I want to prioritize my needs and my wants. And that means self-care. That means doing what I need to do to be happy every single day, and also in the bigger picture, right? And for me, that means travel. That means seeing my family and seeing my friends, and doing a lot of things that I've always wanted to do, but maybe just haven't quite gotten around to yet. So that means all of that kind of stuff for me. So I really want to encourage you today, your takeaway today, your homework, I guess, today, is I have a training that I would love for you to watch. If any of this is resonating with you, if you really want to kind of dig into who you are being, like I said, if you're watching this in real time, it is New Year's Eve, could not be better timing. Toss those resolutions out the window and let's get intentional. So this training, depending on where you're watching this, I will pop a link in the description, okay? So this training, it's about half an hour long, and your homework is to show up with your journal or a notebook or something that you can write down, because through the training, I take you through a question sequence and we create your intentions, and then we look at how to create some goals. Say you do want to lose that 20 pounds. That is fine. You can totally want to lose 20 pounds, but it's about how you do it. Right? Is it I go on the next fad diet so that I deprive myself, I feel like shit, I lose the weight and then I gain it back, then I feel like shit next year? Or is it I prioritize self-care and self-love and tuning into myself and giving myself and my body so much goodness that I lose weight as a side effect? There's a big difference between those two. So you might be setting that goal of losing 20 pounds, but your intention in how you do it is going to be the difference. So jump on over, watch that training, do the work, and really, I just want to encourage you. Being intentional is in itself an act of self-love. Being intentional is tuning into you and your wants and your needs and your desires and your passions and your hopes and your dreams, and doing that and honoring you is one of the most loving things you could possibly do. So jump on over, do the training. I really want to encourage you, check it out. Even if you are not watching this in real time and it's like June or something, it's the middle of the year, I still want to encourage you to do it, okay? It is never too late to start. Today, what's that quote? Today is the first day of the rest of your life. It's true. It's totally true. So regardless of what time of year it is, if you are not happy with where you are and you want to start showing up differently in your life, do the training. All right? Have a good one, guys. Happy New Year if you're watching this in real time. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow.